Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video I am once again taking a look at one of your designs that you've linked me in the comment section of one of my videos. And if you wish to see something of yours shown on this channel, just leave me the Steam Workshop link somewhere and I'll eventually get around to it. But for today we're looking at a medical ship that will come to your aid provided you have the credits for the services. We are looking at the Red Nimbus, which is this lovely thing right here. So this ship will come to your aid. It can open up the sides and allow you to easily get in and out and receive your treatment. And it also has some guns on there to make sure it can fly into a combat situation and try and save you. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. This ship is 1,519 small blocks, using the decorative block number 2 DLC pack. You can see there's a little bit of information about this ship, how it's been inspired by the Trauma Team ambulance from Cyberpunk 2077, and a nice little bit of information all about the ship right here. So closing that out, it's time to take a look around the outside. Then we'll go and take a look on the inside and fly it around for a bit. So coming all the way around to the front right here, in fact my character can now just bugger off over there we go, and we'll start here. So this is the very front where we can see a small glass window setup to allow us to peer inside at our pilot seat as well as our cryopod and all the other services inside this ship. Just below the window we got ourselves a camera surrounded by some Gatling guns to make sure we can blast our enemies if we're flying into a combat zone. As we move around the side here, we got the traditional white and red colouring, which come with a lot of emergency service vehicles. A spotlight on the side to light up the darkness if you're using a very dark mod. We got atmospheric thrusters, which are the only form of thrust that appear on this ship, in the red and the white. And on the side right here, we can see we got some white and red lights, which do blink when we activate our emergency sirens. And in front of us, where the red cross is, we have a button which will open up and allow us to go inside. It's very neatly done with these hinges and is completely possible thanks to the latest update involving the changes to the block collisions. So this will all fold up and allow us to go inside and access everything here, but I'll show that in just a bit. As we continue around the side here, past even more thrusters which have been very neatly covered up by some simple blocks and some transparent LCD screens. Around to the back, some more white and red blocks and some more white and red lights. At the very back there we've got a camera to make sure we can reverse up to our base and make sure we don't clang into stuff and damage the ship. And as we move all the way up to the top, there are some more thrusters. We then got a small little rotating light just in case we need to blare our emergency sirens. And then along the top there, a little battery to keep us powered, and an antenna to make sure you can always find this ship, and even more thrusters and red and white blocks. If we come all the way down and underneath this, so past our Gatling guns, past some yellow blocks, we then got a connector to recharge ourselves and to load this up with medical supplies. And just going along here, we've got these interesting little knobby parts right here. These are to replace the landing gear because you don't want to snap to the ground in an emergency. You want to swoop in and open up your doors, get your patient in, and get away as fast as possible. And these allow you to land down quite hard without damaging the main body of the ship. As we come along to the back, there is another connector, just in case the first one gets damaged. But with that all done and out of the way, it's time to go inside and see what this thing has to offer. So, grabbing my character and coming all the way around to here, let's just go and head over to here and press this button. Pressing that, it'll fold up like so and allow us to go inside. There is another button on the opposite side in case we want to deploy absolutely everything. So there we go. And it just neatly opens up. No risk of it going clang, no random explosions, thanks to that update. And yes, on the door there we've got a few little lights. Whoop, there's my character. We've got little lights on there and we've got another button for the interior. So we can close it up like so. Let's just duck down there. And we'll be all nice and neat. They'll go very snug fit, like so. And once that's all closed up, we then get a nice glow in here of the bluish lights. Let's come over to here and close that one up, and we'll get the same effect. There we go. We can see time blocks above the door, which is how they're opening and closing. And then looking around for the interior, this is what we get. a cryopod for your emergency patient, plenty of seats for your guards and paramedics or medical workers, whatever you want to call them. And we've got some LCD screens dotted around with lots of little stuff on there. We've got 911 call now, and around here, first aid. And over here, a tiny little alien who shouldn't be smoking that. That's bad for their lungs. Yes, with my light on, we've got a survival kit at the very back here to recharge ourselves with. We've got a button right here, which if I was to press it, which will turn on the lights inside. We've got a small cargo container there for us to access some med kits, in case we just need a small little patch up. And we can see some batteries just dotted behind this chair. Some small hydrogen tanks just to fuel the cryopod in front of there, so we can just recharge their jetpack in case we need to. And over here we've got a programmable block, which is just displaying our faction. Turning around and moving towards the front, we've got a large cargo container here full of everything we need. We've got some space credits in there, we've got some construction components, some cosmic coffee, medkits, some scrap, and a few bits and bobs in there, in case you wanted to purchase a little extra after receiving your treatment. We have a button right above there, which we can click, that turns on even more lights, so we're nice and bright in here. I can just turn off my light, it doesn't make any difference me having my light on and off. And then, just behind there, we've got some red chairs, some gyroscopes, another LCD screen with a 911 call now. Moving across, we can see the batteries, some conveyors coming across to some more hydrogen tanks, and some more small cargo containers, which contain some guns and some ammunition. So this will be for your guards to hold, just in case you get a rowdy customer. Actually, it's not really customer, is it, when you're in trouble and needing an ambulance? But you get the idea. So towards the front, so it's just behind here, we've got two little buttons on either side which we can press, which then turn on even more lights. Coming around to here, we have another button, and this button is going to be for the light just in front of the pilot seat. So if you go like that, turns off, turns on. Then moving towards the front, this is what we get. We can see the bottom of our connector right there, which is full of ammunition for our Gatling guns. That's connected across into the ship and funneled over to the Gatling guns at the very front. Looking up and around here, we then have a emergency button which we can press, and we get a sound block activated, and the lights around the ship will start blinking. So there we go. Let's just turn that off for the moment. And I have turned off the sound block just because it can be a little bit of a annoying sound when left running. But for the pilot seat, let's hop in here and come into first person view. We've got some LCD screens which is just attached onto some blocks. We've got a small little access point right there in case we needed. There's our sound block for our alarms, and just in front of there, there's our conveyors going across to our Gatling guns. And in front, a programmable block displaying the time. So bringing up the HUD, this is what we get. Number one will be to view the camera straight forwards, and we can see the targeting via Gatling guns, so we can fire like so. Very good stuff. Coming out of there and pressing number 2, that's our reverse camera. Number 3 will be for our cruise control. Yes, I do love these buttons where we can go forwards, turn that off, and we'll just cruise along like so. But we can put that on and stop almost instantly. Dropping myself to the ground, let's go nice and flat like so. It's time to press 4 and 5, so bringing the free camera over to the ship so we can get a better view of this, all the way around, pressing 4, pressing 5, we can open up our doors on both sides and allow our patients to get in and out. I almost forgot the word there, and they can receive their treatment, or you can just plop it down as a small emergency centre somewhere in a city and have people come over and get a little touch up. So closing them up like so. Number 6 will be for our emergency lights and sound, where we just start blinking. If I turn it to nighttime, so let's come across to here and make it nighttime. There we go. We can now see the blinking light from a good distance away. And stopping that and bring the sun back around like so. Let's come over to tab number 2, where we've got a few more controls. Number 1 is going to be for our emergency lights on and off once again, so there we go, we can blink them. Coming all the way around to the back of the ship, this is going to be for our rear lights 2 and 3. So there we go, we can now have them blinking behind us to make sure there's no ship tailgating us as we go across the galaxy. Number 4 will be for our sound block on and off, and number 5 will be for some more lights around the ship. Number 6 will be for our spotlights at the very front there, in case we're using a very dark mod and we need to have the lights to navigate. They are quite fun mods, by the way, if you use the extreme darkness. On tab number 3 and number 4, that is all empty, so it's now time to get into my character, and we can just lift away and start flying this. So going forwards, we have got a nice amount of speed thanks to those large atmospheric thrusters. Stopping as well is very good, which is going to be excellent for an emergency vehicle. You want to be able to stop almost instantly as you come clumping down to the ground, opening up your doors to make sure people can get in and out at a speedy rate. Then you can just take off and away you go. Hopefully they'll be in their seats at that point, otherwise they're going to get flung out the side, but never mind. Yes, coming to a complete stop. Like so. Let's go left. And right, we've got a nice bit of speed there. And then going down. And up again. We've got some nice speed there. Moving my mouse around, there is a bit of weight on there, which I do like. Whoop, let's zoom out like that. Yeah, there is a tiny bit of weight on there. It's not too much, you could lower it if you wanted to have a bit more meatier control, but it does suit this size of ship, and it is quite responsive. But as for that, there's not much else to talk about. We could try and find a pirate if they decide to spawn, but I don't think they are, so I'm just going to come over to this mountainside right here, and slam this straight into it, and see what happens. So there'll be a link to this in the description below. If you did want to download and play around with it yourself, I highly recommend you do because it is a fantastic design and it works flawlessly with its opening and closing of the side doors. There we go, that's a nice crash. And we can just open this up. Uh-oh. Ah, that side can open up, that's good stuff. I think the other side was blocked. But we've lost the front of the ship, not too much damage has been done. I'm not sure why that door is not working anymore. Now it's working. Yes, as I was saying, there'll be a link to it in the description below. If you did want to download and play around with it yourself, I might need to spawn in the second one to come rescue me. But as for that, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one some point soon. Bye bye.